ba 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 bum 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 bum. Bam! Guess what? It's news at 10 past 10. 17th of the 7th, 2025, and we are live on YouTube at the time of the broadcast. If you're listening to this as a podcast, you can still comment in the comment section. If you listen to this live or watching this live, then please get yourselves involved in the conversations that we have on here, because it's a bit of fun, particularly at the end. At the moment, we've got just bad news after bad news after bad news, and it's kind of never ending. Hi T, but things will get better by the end of the show. Hello Calderdale Top Cat. Been to Scamandon Water and Alton Towers on Saturday is your visit. Watch out for the rain, apparently. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the weather, or not. We are here to talk about the news. And the news is about... Oh, hi Angela. Oh, Cat's come as well. What's up? Silence, what did you want? She's taken to carrying around a little friend with her. It's a sumo wrestler that someone bought her a few months ago that she hasn't played with for God knows how long. And now she's carrying it around like it's a dog with a bone. It squeaks, which is really annoying, but she's not brought it in here, so that's alright. Anyway, I'm pleased to hear we've fixed the spelling mistakes. There was two in this banner thing up here at the top. Of course, I've said that when we're nowhere near the actual thing. Okay, you take care, Calderdale Top Cat. Have fun at Alton Towers. So we had have a butt of fun. Was wrong. And what was the other thing that we had? Gin in the chat, which I've changed to join in the chat. Tags. Oh, it's me, Stephen Kelly and Rollo. Hello, Stephen Kelly and Rollo. Rollo's the dog. Don't worry, we do it every week. It just gets a bit, a bit weird. Don't forget you can like, share and subscribe. You can also join in with the chat in the chat room. You'll be our top fan this week. Or will we have a new top fan? It's a new thing. I don't actually understand what it means or what it's about, but it kind of goes all over the place. So yeah. Shall we crack on then? Now, there isn't one piece of news that's like the main news this week. So normally I do a photo picture of the news from the week. That is like the main news of the week. But there isn't really anything this week that fits into that category. Just lots of news from lots of different things. Drew Frequencies joined us as well. These are all the regulars, don't forget. If you do join in the chat, even if I don't notice it, I will give you a shout out at the end. Because that's what we do on here, we give everyone a shout out. So, shout out, I'm going to go a bit like, oh, good old Mike, because Oasis, I'm playing at Manchester. It's great, love Manchester. Craig Meadow has joined us as well. I've also got our unofficial stats guy who comes on. I don't know whether they're around or not tonight. No, I didn't go and see Spudman on Tags on Monday because the guy we went to see is an absolute end. And me and him have got beef, and I don't mean in a good way. Anyway, plus I was too busy in the shop. It's way too busy to be going out to socialise with people when the shop's open, so yeah, got me arse with that BS. Right, shall we crack on? I think we've got enough people in now to make a go of this. Don't forget you can like, share, subscribe, like I say, join in the chat. You can agree, disagree with me. It's entirely up to you. There's no rules regarding that whatsoever. Just keep the chat nice and friendly. and we will crack on. So, like I said, there's no actual news this week that is like the main running story. There's lots of stories that possibly could have been, but not quite enough. So we've got a bit of a mishmash of news, and as usual, I will give my opinion on it. Me and Kelly was 8th and 9th in the queue. It was a really good day. We got photos with the Spudman himself. Oh. Sorry to hear that. But I say, the guy went to see, he's banned from my shop. Doesn't know it yet, but he's banned from my shop. He's an absolute waste of life. Oh yeah. What are you meowing at? Called silence. You're meant to be silent. Anyway, so we've had a visit from someone who does YouTube and thinks they're really good. Yeah, okay. Although to be fair, I do YouTube and I know I'm not good, so that's all right. Right then, so we're going to go through all the news in a one big lump this week. So we'll start on Wednesday, the 25th of July. And here's a scary fact. Are you aware that last week was week 29, which means we're now in week 30 of 2025. We're in week 30 of 2025. Let that sink in and sob quietly to yourself. Wednesday the 16th. Israel attacks Damascus in Syria. Oh, hang on. What am I doing here? I want the wrong one. Oh, I'm in the wrong page. Right, go back. So it's week 28 this last week, so it's week 29 this week. My pages have gone over and I hadn't noticed. I've been talking too much. So Friday the 11th of July. First report into the India crash, aeroplane crash, states the co-pilot turned off the fuel switches directly after takeoff. Now, in a plane, fuel switches are not like a switch, like a light switch. You just flick. In order, because obviously, if you turn the fuel off to the engines, that's not a good thing for the engines. They kind of need the fuel. So in order to switch the fuel off to the engines, you have to pull out the lever and then move it, a bit like a gear stick, move it into position and then drop it back down into the board that it's on. And that appears to have happened to both of them, although later reports said that both switches were back in the on position, but it was too late to save the plane. So they're currently looking into the mental health of the pilots and see if there's any issues going on. But either way, absolutely horrific incidents. I mean, the pictures were horrendous as it was, but then to find out that it may have been, an actual human who did it rather than a technical issue or a fault or something like that, just makes it 100 times worse. Meanwhile, things were bad in Texas, if you remember those horrendous flash floods, all them poor children being swept away from a summer camp, a Christian summer camp, and it got worse because Donald Trump and Melania, they went to visit. Thoughts and prayers. Unite, the union, suspends the fisherman's wife, Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister, from its membership, as she keeps telling its members to accept the deal over the bin strikes. Now, the bin strikes have been going on for ages. Basically, the crux of the matter is that the council are telling the bin men that they have to, the bin people, that they have to do the same job, regardless, but they're going to lose, some of them, a few £1,000s a year in wages. All right, sorry, Craig, I missed that. Quickly become your most viewed channel on YouTube. Again, my deepest sympathies. Wigan Watch tomorrow. I've been filming it. Be hopefully going up tomorrow. So there will be a new Wigan Watch. Lots of exciting news as well. Anyway, back to Angela Rayner, fisherman's wife, ginger one. Yeah. what is wrong with this Labour Party? None of them seem to have... Oh, it's Dotty Gran now, not Dotty Lady. Long time no see indeed. Welcome back. So yeah, sorry, we're getting people coming in left, right and centre, which is great. Love it. Love it. Because I move things, you see, to a different time, so we get more people watching. So yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you feel free. Yeah, she's basically telling the bin workers, the refuse collectors, to just go back to work and take a massive pay cut. Labour, the party of the working people? That, not this lot. The United Nations say nearly 800 have been killed at distribution points in Gaza over the last few weeks. The IDF say they're looking into it. Most injuries are gunshot though. And the claim that the UN, are using false information, because we all know the IDF and Israel are so trustworthy, honest, decent people. Saturday the 12th, President Trump threatens 30% tariffs on EU and Mexico in 2 weeks unless they agree a trade agreement. Don't know what Mexico's got to do done with things, but anyway, he's upset with Mexico. At least 24 are dead at an aid distribution centre, again in Gaza. This is extra to the ones we were talking about a moment ago. And the IDF say no, they're only warning shots. Yeah. Talks between BMA, which is the junior doctors, as was, and West Streeting, arranged for next week, which is this week. Which means obviously that the strikes will be over because once again Labour will just cave in and give them a 20% pay rise and not give anyone else the pay rise because they did it last year and they can't really go back on it now. Thanks, changed my name back and forth because I get bored of the same name sometimes. Oh, you're okay, Dotty Gran. I changed my name as well. Sometimes I call myself Barry. No, I don't. Why would I do that? I don't think I was off EastEnders or something then. No, that guy was off EastEnders. It wasn't very funny. Fell down a hill. Yeah, that was me. Sunday the 13th of July. A plane crash at Southend Airport. A small aircraft. Turned out it was a medical aircraft. Of all 4 people on it on board tragically died, including one lady who was working as I can't remember if it was a nurse or a doctor, and it was on her first day of the job being in an aeroplane, flying to different countries with patients or collecting patients, that kind of thing. Just horrendous, and again the videos were just shocking to see. Measles is back, and there's a tragic consequence as a child has died in Liverpool. MMR, measles, mumps and rubella jabs, when I was a kid, which is given to everyone pretty much. Then there was some BS that was piped up by someone who said basically if you get the MMR you're going to get autism, or your child's going to get autism and it affects autism and all that kind of thing. Now I'm pretty sure I am autistic because let's be honest, I do all this. I'm not autistic, what is wrong with me? But I don't think it's because of the MMR jab. I think we're all autistic. If we weren't autistic, we'd all be like Stepford Wives, wouldn't we? We'd all be like robots. We're just at different stages of the spectrum. So yeah, understandably. Israel blames a technical error as a water tanker in Gaza is hit by a missile and children killed every day. The BMA, which is the Doctors' Union, hopes talks will stop the strikes. Basically, they just hope the government will cave in again and stop the strikes. Monday the 14th, Trump says billions of dollars of weapons will be available to Ukraine. Is it a U-turn? No, it's a business deal. Sleepy Joe Biden, as Trump called him, he basically gave the weapons to Ukraine to use to protect themselves against the illegal invasion by Russia on Ukraine land, and at military sites on the border of Ukraine and Russia. Yeah, but Trump isn't doing that. What he's doing is he's making money from this. He's selling the weapons to European countries, so like us, Germany, other supporters of Ukraine, who then gift them. It's a genius move. He's basically making money left, right and centre with this war. And I've said all along, I'm sure Trump has got something to do with the starts of these wars whilst he was not in power. I've got no proof of it, no one's ever said it. But it just seems convenient that America is making money. And, you know, if Gaza does do this, well, Gaza is taking in this land grab, which is going on at the minute. He's going to build this massive, huge holiday resort on the land, which will make him millions. He won't be president then either by the time it's all finished. So therefore he'll be able to take all the money. It just seems very, very, very odd. But yeah, genius move. The main thing is that Ukraine are getting the weapons so they can help fight back a little bit more. Oh, Alan's here as well. Hello, Alan. Trump also warns Russia and allies to Russia, people who trade with Russia, that there will be 100% tariffs in 50 days from Monday on any country and Russia, or any country that does any deals or has any trade deals or does anything dealing like with Russia. So if, say for example, France continued to send wine to Russia, all products from France going to America will have 100% tariffs on them. So he's basically saying he wants to stop the war in 50 days because a lot of the countries will be like, well, no, we need to keep both on side, and it's very difficult. Stephen O'Neill, I see Donald, our new statistician, we call him Stato. I see Donald Trump presented the World Cup on Sunday to Chelsea, but apparently it was a replica and he kept the original one. That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, money to be made there, melting that down. Complaints are upheld on Greg Wallace. And the BBC have had a bit of a bad time of it lately. Who cares? Complaints are upheld on Greg Wallace. He's already been fired from the BBC. There was a Gaza documentary, which I didn't watch, featuring a 14-year-old boy who was, and it was about the effects of war on children in Gaza. So the idea of it was, you know, pretty good. Now, obviously, the BBC are not allowed in Gaza. No one's allowed in Gaza, so they have to rely on the people who we get the information from Gaza to film it and send it all over and say everything's legit and everything. What they forgot to tell the BBC was that the young lad who was doing the main narrating, he's got big ears, sticky out ears. Nothing wrong with that. I've just got flat ears. I'm just jealous of anyone who's got sticky out ears. Cause look, if I look straight at the camera, you can't see my ears. My ears have gone, but they are there. Look, there's one there. There's one there. But yeah, he was the 14-year-old son of one of the Hamas government people, not a high-ranking one, but nevertheless. And then you think, well, hang on a minute. Do you honestly think that Hamas were going to let someone film a child without them having some control on it, which was naive of the BBC to think that would have even happened? So the whole thing just stinks of ineptitude and incompetence, a bit like Labour government at the moment. And I think it's definitely time to defund the BBC. We'll talk about it again a bit later. The BBC can easily go to adverts, not a problem. Let's be honest, a lot of their programmes are shipped all over the world. They've already got bits in them ready for adverts when they go over to America or they go on BritBox or whatever. So dead easy for them to do that. Alternatively, why not go into the same way as Sky and have people subscribe to it? So you want to pay for your licence, you can do if you want. You pay a monthly fee of 10, 15 quid, whatever, and you get the BBC, a few adverts maybe in it as well. People who don't want to watch the BBC, people who don't want to pay for the BBC, well, they don't have to pay, they don't get it. It just seems obvious now, with technology the way it is. Anyway, we will see. Didn't watch it, Dottigram, no. The 1910 Liberal government had 34% tariffs on foreign imports. There you go. By the way, Stephen, I'm not being disrespectful if I call you Stato. It's just a lot quicker to say than Stephen O'Neill, who does the stats. And it's a homage homage to a TV show which was called Fantasy Football with Baddiel and Skinner, and they had a guy in the background who always, I've never understood why, but he always had a dressing gown on, and glasses, and he always just come up with all these stats every time they said something. So it's not a dig at you in any way, shape or form. It's a compliment, okay? So there you go. The BBC owns UK TV, which carries commercials. Channel 5 and Channel 4 are also owned by us, but we don't pay anything for that. It's all done via adverts and sponsorships and things like that. Again, that wouldn't be a bad thing, would it? You know, EastEnders sponsored by, I don't know, I don't watch EastEnders, but I would imagine some company that sells guns, because I imagine there's always people being shot there. So, you know, sponsored by AK-47, something, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, BBC, yeah, I've had enough. A former Israeli Prime Minister says plans to build a camp in the south of Gaza to hold all people from Gaza in a small area is equivalent, he agreed, to ethnic cleansing. So 2 million people being moved from the whole of Gaza and shoved into a small area, and other people have likened it to a concentration camp. Again, these are war crimes. Why is Netanyahu getting away with it? It beggars belief. Tuesday the 15th, Trump tells the BBC in a phone interview he is disappointed over Putin's actions, i.e., I talk to Putin and we have a great conversation, and then I get home and I find out that Putin's bombed Ukraine again, or some words like that. He's not done with him. He's upset, but he's not done with him. Almost praise for Keir Starmer, but not quite. The Kremlin, meanwhile, says ultimatums are unacceptable. Meanwhile, the BBC report that first, this is news at 10. Second, they report that John Turturro will not have his contract renewed because apparently he said a very racist comment at an unspecified time to an unspecified person. So John Turturro has not been given even the year, never mind the date. He's admitted doing it, even though he doesn't remember doing it, but we've all said stuff years ago that was... Channel 5 owned by Paramount now, I didn't know that. See, Stato, it's good. He said something that offended someone years ago, and he admitted it was him when his mate got fired. And now, because he's admitted it, they've fired him as well, even though they can't tell him what he said, who he said it to, or when it was. And he can't remember either. So it seems fair, doesn't it? I mean, they let pedos and other things work there for years and years and years. And then someone said something years ago that they can't even prove happened, and he gets fired. I mean, the BBC. Gotta love them. Then we had the... here we go, yeah. Then we had Rachel Reeves, third item, delivers a speech to the Lord Mayor's dinner. You know, Rachel from Accounts, saying everything's going to be great, everything's going to be fine. It's not, is it? It's all going down the shitter. Who knew it would do? Oh yeah. Watch back at my... even before they got in power. I didn't know how bad they were going to be. And then... the fourth news story, they mention the thousands of Afghans who were secretly brought to the UK after an email was accidentally sent out to thousands of people with thousands of names of not only Afghan citizens who helped the UK military when we were illegally invading Afghanistan and killing their people, but also spies and British people as well, names, addresses, date of birth, everything else. So we've had to ship over, secretly, without telling anyone, thousands of these Afghans coaches, unmarked coaches have been pulling up at different places with these people on. Unmarked aeroplanes have been landing here, there and everywhere. It's cost £700 million, and there's a budget of £7 billion for this. Now, it's not just Labour, which is why it confused me, why they weren't going over it straight away, because the BBC do seem to side with Labour on everything. But it was the Tories when all this started. Labour just carried it on. Anyway, now, because of investigations by journalists, the current military secretary has decided to lift a what's it called? Oh, it's not an embargo. I've written it down here. Super injunction. So they couldn't even. A super injunction is. So well, let's just start at the beginning. Right. So if you're a government and you have to do something that costs money, you're legally obliged to declare that and say, look, we're spending, because it's taxpayers' money at the end of the day. If you pay tax, this is your money they're spending. So they have to say, right, we're going to spend this on this on that, and we've got an emergency, we're going to spend this on this. Now, because this is when the Tories were in, this had such an effect on so many people in a dangerous country, which is Afghanistan, now ruled by the Taliban, they decided to put an injunction on it so that it couldn't be reported by the press, and no one could find out, even with a freedom of information, where the money was going to. But then they took it to a super injunction. Now, a super injunction says that you can't even say there's an injunction. So you could say that there's an injunction on something to do with the defence, but we're not allowed to say what it is. But the super injunction means you're not even allowed to say that there is an injunction on something. So no one knows anything, and it's been swept well and truly under the carpet. Anyway, the M word. Yeah, I didn't want to go down that route, but yeah. It's all very complicated. Anyway, the super injunction's gone now. The injunction's gone. And now it's safe to give all these people's names out. I mean, even though they were out already, and no doubt the Taliban had already had them, and they've already probably sadly done, acted on it, shall we say. But now the country's finding out that the Tories and Labour have spent all this money on a mistake and not told anyone about it. And yeah, it all gets very, very messy. But the BBC, they don't mention any of that. They concentrate on the side of the Afghanis. Didn't mention at all the costs to the British taxpayer or anything. So again, what are we funding the BBC for? Why am I paying my licence if I'm not getting the full information? You go on any other channel and you get shed loads of information on it. I kind of watch, I do watch the BBC and I do watch GB News, and I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. I kind of go a little bit BBC, a little bit GB News, but I'm usually somewhere in the middle of that, because I think they both are extremes and they both talk nonsense about a lot of things. But I think you need to get your things from the two areas. Oh, it's all right, Dotty Cran. What I meant was I wasn't going to say the M word. Statoil, first super injunction in the UK, used in 2009. Oh, damn, I've just said that now. I could go to prison for 15 years. Both men who chopped down the Sycamore Gap tree get 4 years and 3 months. Pardon the pun, but I'm sat on the wall about this. It's next to a wall. I think they should be punished greatly. Is 1 year and a few months in prison worth it? Because obviously you get half your sentence. If you're non-violent, it gets reduced again because Labour just chuck people out left, right and centre from prisons to make room for more people who send tweets supporting people. Yeah, that's what I mean. You get someone like chopping down that tree, which was a heinous act. I mean, no one died, but it wasn't nice. And then someone gets 3 years for tweeting something. The justice system is absolutely messed up. And someone pointed out, if it had been migrants who chopped the tree down, would they have gone to prison? Would they have been deported? We'll never know. But no, I don't know. It just seems... They needed to be punished, yes. But was it prison the right thing? Anyway, 16th, which was a Wednesday, July 2025. Israel attacks Damascus in Syria, the military headquarters, as seen and felt live on Syrian TV. If you've seen the videos, it's amazing and terrifying at the same time that these missiles come in. Every side of the building gets hit. The roof gets blown off and flies through the air and lands down. The woman is reading the news in a studio with a webcam pointing at the building as it gets hit. You see the explosion, and then the studio must be fairly nearby. I don't think it's in the building, but I think it's nearby. And the whole building shakes, and obviously, understandably, she absolutely craps herself and legs it off out of the studio. But Israel, again, going round, bombing places willy and nilly, and no one says anything. Now, I'm not saying Damascus and the new regime there is better than Assad, the optician, and his regime. I'm not saying it's worse either. But what gives the right of Israel to do all this bombing? They're bombing Iran, they're bombing Gaza, they're bombing Libya, they're now bombing Syria. I'm sure they bombed somewhere in... where else did they bomb? It wasn't Qatar, was it? But they did bomb somewhere else. And no one bats an eyelid. And you're like, that's Trump. Have they got something on Trump and Trump's got something on them, so they're doing what Trump wants them to do? Because again, it all feels like it's about money rather than anything else. Syria call it a treacherous aggression, which, well, you have to agree, it is. Like I say, I'm not necessarily supporting the Syrian regime in any way, shape or form, but it just seems weird that Israel is just firing. And where are they getting all these missiles from? I mean, they are sending hundreds of missiles all over the place. And Israel, in the scheme of things, is tiny. Tiny. I mean, look at Iran compared to Israel. And Gaza has been levelled. The West Bank is being levelled. Iran has been targeted specifically, which kind of proves that they can do that, which is my argument about the ethnic cleansing. Yeah, the ethnic cleansing that's going on in Gaza, because they can literally target, as we saw tragically a few months ago now, the aid workers in 3 cars who were travelling at night, and they were targeted numerous times by missiles that only hit the cars and nothing else. Yet the rest of the time, Israel has to blow up entire communities. Doesn't make sense. As if 31st of March 2024, 3,600 black and white TVs still in force. Wow, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, there's technical issues going on elsewhere. Thankfully, we're okay at the moment. Meanwhile, Starmer says Tory ministers must be held accountable for the email leak and the super injunction. Someone must be held accountable, certainly the person who sent it, but it turns out what I heard later on was the person who sent it was possibly someone in Afghanistan. It's just a cluster mess, isn't it? Starmer also suspends 4 MPs from the parliamentary party, so they're now sitting as independents. For all 4 of them voted against Keir Starmer and Rachel from Accounts over the benefits bill to take PIP away from people. But there were 40 odd people who did that, but they've only suspended 4 of them. Inflation rose quicker than expected, from 3.6% from 3.4%, well above the 2% that is expected, and the highest in 18 months. I think I may have said I definitely said on my first one of these I did in April that we would see the benefits of Rachel's from accounts absolutely rubbish budget start to filter through in the first quarter of this year, because none of her policies actually came into power until the 1st of April, or the first week of April. So yeah, and now look what's happening. Unemployment is going up rapidly. People are having their hours cut. Businesses are shutting left, right and centre. Well done, Rachel. You've done exactly what I said you were going to do, which is completely and utterly gut the economy. They haven't got a clue. There must be a way of voting out Labour. The people must be able to call for another general election with immediate effect, because this Labour Party have lied about everything they've done. This Labour Party have not had they had a majority, obviously, because they got more MPs than anyone else, but they had 1 million less votes than they did in the disastrous 2019 election, where they were expected to win, but Labour won. Conservatives won by a landslide, and Labour were destroyed. They get 1 million votes less this time round, because people can't be arsed voting for any of them, and they're doing all this crap, and I just don't understand why there isn't a way to get out your MPs and cause a general election. Maybe the whole country should stand up and say, right, our MP is not fit for purpose, therefore if enough people sign a petition, they have to have a by-election and maybe do it that way. But something's got to happen, because we are being run into the ground, and every time Labour have been in power, by the time they leave, they've always completely messed up the finances of the country. They've never left it in a better condition than it was when they got it. And okay, the Tories weren't great, but things were improving. I think Rishi Sunak is the best Prime Minister we've had for a while. He was actually getting stuff done. He's a businessman. He knows what he's doing. And inflation was coming down, interest rates were coming down, more investment was coming in, GDP was going up. All fractions, but they were going the right way. He turned it around. He just jumped too quick. Yeah, the problem you've got, Dotty, is that they won't do it, because they all know, particularly Labour ones, that they'll be out of job. And pretty much all the Tory ones as well, because I think everyone's fed up with all of them. And then, is reform ready? That's what worries me. If reform get in, we might solve one problem, but we might create loads of other problems. Anyway, no doubt we'll be discussing this for months, years to come. Thursday the 17th of July. Oh, that's today. Some very sad breaking news. A school coach has crashed in Minehead in Surrey. 21 people, including children, have been injured. And tragically, one child has been pronounced dead. It was a school trip going home after a wonderful day out, no doubt. And yeah, just ends in absolute tragedy. Obviously, it's breaking news. We might get more of that in the breaking news section. More breaking news. Diane Abbott, MP, the one who doesn't know how to add up, the one who said we could have, 20,000 police when when she was in opposition. We can have 20,000 police and it's going to cost us 40 grand a year. She's been suspended again from the Labour Party for doubling down on racism. Basically, she said that black people who get called names are exactly the same as other people who get called names or something. I don't know. I don't really listen to the woman. Anyway, she got brought back in and now she's brought back out again. And then 16-year-olds are to be given the vote. More breaking news. There we go. It's the reason for 16-year-olds to boost the chances of leadership getting in. Well, I spoke to one of the lads who works for me who's just turned 16, and he was bemoaning the fact that he can't sell or buy 18 certificate games, but he can join the army and all that kind of thing. And then he said, yeah, there's loads of things I'd like to do that I can't do. And I said, well, what would you do? what do you want to do that you can't do? And he said, vote. And I was like, what? Vote? You want to vote? He went, yeah, I want to vote. And who would you vote for? Reform. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to work. Plus, what worries me is, what do 16-year-olds generally know about politics? I mean, I only got into politics in my late 40s, really. Early 50s. I mean, politics is always around. You vote, you watch the party political broadcasts. You put your little cross on the slip and everything. But when you're 16, you're on TikTok and all that kind of thing. They'll probably end up voting Lib Dems, so they can watch what's he called, Sir Fall in the Water a lot, because that's what they like. But no, I don't think you should give 16-year-olds a vote. In fact, if anything, I think we should put it up to 21. Because most 18-year-olds haven't got a clue. In this generation, well, Jesus, no offence, but they're, yeah. Meanwhile, Israel says they are deeply, deeply what? I can't read my own writing here. Anyway, it is deeply saddened that a stray ammunition hit and killed 3 at Gaza's only Catholic church. Rachel Reeves visited Wigan Monday just gone. She did indeed, but it wasn't Wigan, it was Lee. And our MP was there. When I was 16, I didn't have a scoot about out. Weren't even interested in politics. Didn't care. Thought it didn't matter. Craig agrees. 21. Scooby, not Scott. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Well, I didn't, but Scoot and Scooby. Yeah, it's broad as long, isn't it? But yeah, it's a peculiar thing. I mean, it's like PR as well. Proportional representation. Now, a lot of people go on about proportional representation, and what they say is, if we get PR in, it means that people's votes will count more. So basically, instead of putting a cross, you'll put a number, whether it's 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, whatever, and it's first choice, second choice, third choice, all the votes are added up, points are added, blah, 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 and you get a more spread of the vote. The only problem with PR is, you name me one country that has PR, that has a stable government, doesn't have coalitions all the time, which fall apart. What is the correct way of doing this? I mean, there was a thing I read out, maybe a year, maybe 18 months ago. There was a survey done with teenagers and early 20-year-olds in university and places like that. And over 50% of them thought that a dictatorship would be better because it'd be more stable. Now, we might be heading that way, indirectly, not in my lifetime, I don't think, but certainly with what's going on with the situation with migrants, etc., we may end up in a position where that does happen, or we have military taking over because of civil unrest. The whole thing is just terrifying. But yeah, voting last changed in 1969 from 21 to 18, not 80. Just get the 80-year-olds voting, that'd be a laugh, wouldn't it? Hey, I used to do this when I was a kid. Oh. Yeah, no, let's not do that. Anyway, so that is the news of this week, of which there was quite a lot, to be fair. We've talked a lot more than we normally do when I split it in half, but there's been a lot to get through. Dottie, actually I think it would be more sensible to allow 6-year-olds to vote rather than 16. They've got more sense. Can't argue with that. Right then, so shall we have a look at the news that's made me go ha ha ha, or ooh, or whatever. Yeah, so this is the light side of the news, memes and that kind of thing. So this is a map of a new estate. Residents have blasted plans for a new housing estate and believe the embarrassing shape looks ridiculous. A Tory councillor has joked he's seen some cracking street names suggested for the penis-shaped 250 home development, but many local people don't find it amusing, especially as some say there isn't the existing infrastructure in place to support the cock-up. Sorry. Yeah, it's. I don't know what angle you'd have to look at it to see that as. I think you'd have to turn it upside down and it'd look more penisy. But put it this way: if yours looks like that, you need to go and get it done. Seen to even not get it done. Oh jeez. Let's move on quick. We're officially in the future. This dude is going around Toronto walking his pet robot dog. And it's literally a guy walking his dog that's a robot. You know when babies cry when they come out of the womb? Yeah, you what are you crying for? Just be quiet. No, just shush, shush, shush. Well, I'll give them. Yeah, I'll let them do it if this was the person bringing them into the world. A doctor dressed as Joker at a Halloween party got called into work for an emergency baby delivery. It's years ago, but it's still fun. In 2019, Dr. Eric Bostrom, a family physician in Minnesota, was attending a Halloween party dressed as the Joker when he got an emergency call. One of his patients had gone into labour early. Without changing out of his costume, he rushed to the hospital and delivered the baby whilst fully dressed in green hair, face paint and a purple suit. And there's even a picture there of, there it is, picture there of the baby, which they've thoughtfully blotted out the lower area so as to not give away the identity of the baby. It would now be 6, nearly 7. What do they know, if they remember? But yeah, come out and it's a Joker. Be like, put me back in the back cave. Oh, don't like our British humour, then it's simple. Off. That was, Alf Garnett. If you invert the lyrics to Rick Astley, you get 9 Inch Nails. Now, Rick Astley was famous for Rickroll in the song, and 9 Inch Nails are famous for songs that are very aggressive. So this guy, Ryan Athramaiton O'Dude, has come up with, I will give you up, I will let you down, I will run around and hurt you, I will tell you lies, I will say goodbye, I will run around and desert you. Which would be more like, I will give you up, I will let you down, I will run around and hurt you, I will tell you lies, I will say goodbye, I will run around and desert you. Sorry, Elder, I've got to go. Needs to be up very early. Yeah, don't worry, Angela. You sleep well, and good luck tomorrow. That's the thing to go to bed with, isn't it? Me singing. Viz, there are signs on my local train that say, in emergency, break glass. I would have thought that any emergency situation could only be made worse by having broken glass all over the place. And you've got to admit, that is true. That is true. Woman detained by passengers after smoking on Turkish plane. So this is a woman with a lit cigarette on a plane. The other passengers grab her, take the cigarette off her. She then gets the cigarette lighter out and tries to set fire to the seat in front. Just what you need on a plane, isn't it? Bastard beans on toast. And it's AI of toast with 2 depictions of Sean Bean. So it's beans on toast. Keir Starmer, we talked about this last week. 1 in, 1 out. This is what people are wishing. 1 in, 1 out. In Farage, out Keir Starmer. Anyone watch or seen Demolition Man? Though we're heading that way. People could be fined £100 for swearing in public under controversial plans. Thanet District Council plans to crack down on those using foul language in areas such as Margate, Ramsgate, Broadstairs in Kent. It comes a month after it backed down over similar proposals. Now, the people I hear swearing the most on the streets, and this is this is God's honest truth. The loudest people who hear swearing in shopping centres, in shops, every other word pretty much in a group of them, are girls, usually schoolgirls. They've got mouths on them like, I don't know, dockers. It's unbelievable that everything's F this, F that, see this, not as in see this, like you're all that kind of stuff. And they're loud, they don't talk quietly. When I was a kid, when I was a teenager, it was the lads who were all noisy and effing and jeffing. Now it's the girls. They're absolutely disgusting, the stuff that come out. They can have a quiet conversation and effing this and look at this. This is effing good, isn't it? And it's, what is wrong with these people? Well, a lot. So, we go from one extreme to the other. George Takei, famously one of the only remaining actors now from the original Star Trek crew from the TV show, has reposted a fungus growing on a tree that bears a remarkable resemblance to the Starship Enterprise. And someone's written, Space, the fungal frontier. And George Takei, who's got a brilliant sense of humour, has added the comment, boldly growing where no spore has gone before, which I think is genius. They say that if you see a robin in your garden, it is in fact a visit from a dead relative. How preposterous. I saw a robin out of my kitchen window only this morning, and it did a massive it did a massive shit on the barbecue. My grandmother would never have done that. Fish do come up with some weird stuff. Man's head swells like balloon as he ignores no sex rule after Turkey surgery. Ruben Owen was offered a hair transplant in Turkey but ignored a sex ban and ended up with a massive head after the procedure. I mean, leaving him with a swelling that took a week to reduce. Now I know if you have the little blue pill, you can have a similar problem that can take a long while to reduce, and if you have too many blue pills, it can actually be a medical emergency. But I mean, if the head swells up massively, I would imagine that's better for the woman, is it not? No? You and your child are driving late at night along a deserted road. You come across a van full of money with the driver dead from an apparent heart attack. What lesson do you teach your child? Someone's written, live with your legs, not your back. Yep. Brilliant. See, Jimmy Carr, I like Jimmy Carr's humour. I know. 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown. It's one of my favourite shows. They don't make enough of them now since Sean Locke died. I understand why, but Sean Locke was a genius as well. And I'm kind of warming to the big fat beard guy because I've had him on here a few times. But some of the interactions, it's obviously scripted, I know that. But some of the interactions they do was Jimmy Carr, he always introduces people and insults them, including the regulars. So Susie Dent was the victim of this one, which is, Jimmy Carr says, most little girls dream of being lexicographers. Was it the same for you growing up? And Susie replies, no, actually, I dreamt about working with some of the best comedians in the country, but it hasn't happened yet, which I thought was very, very good indeed. There's also another thing that he's posted up today, actually, which is relevant. It's one of his stand-up shows, which is relevant to the news we were talking about with 16-year-olds. And it was obviously filmed a while ago. And it kind of goes, if you're easily offended, I don't care. Transport the other procedure, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was on about, Dottie. Yeah. If you're easily offended, you don't like Jimmy Carr, then, come back in a minute. So Jimmy Carr says, some people in government are saying that it'd be a good idea to give 16-year-olds the vote. And I kind of agree, because if they're old enough to suck my beep beep, then surely it's only fair that in a couple of years they can vote. Think about it. Very cleverly done. Obviously not true, but very, very clever. And that kind of thing, it's like observational and twisting things and stuff like that. I'm not a comedian, but I do have that kind of mind that makes me think like that. I used to have the body of a 12-year-old. No, I've got the arms of a 12-year-old. That was it. I've got the arms of a 12-year-old. Sadly, the freezer broke. I had to throw the rest of it away. Things like that. Mad. Anyway, we'll talk about nice things now. So welcome back. If you disappeared then for a minute. Would you live on the moon? With scientists hopeful after a breakthrough study. Scientists say they've developed a technology that could help people survive on the moon, potentially opening new doors for future deep space exploration. Mainly because if you send the stuff up there in bits, it'd be easier to get away from the moon than it is from Earth with bigger spaceships. China researchers were able to extract water from lunar soil and use it to convert carbon dioxide into oxygen and chemicals for fuel, which could help ensure that our planet is not the only supplier of essential resources. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But I wouldn't go and live on the moon at the moment because, well, you can't do, can you? In 2011, two Nepali, oh God, climbed Mount Everest and then paraglided off the summit, touching down over 19 miles away in only 42 minutes and avoiding the potentially deadly 3-day descent. Maybe we should do that with everyone who climbs up Everest. Have you seen that map where it shows how many bodies are on Everest? It's horrendous. And they can't move them because obviously they're literally dead weight. No thanks, I'll take my chances on Earth. I don't know at the moment. When they leave a parcel, we have delivered your parcel to your neighbour at the side of the bin. Oh no, at the side of the bin. Yeah, disrespectful. Because it's next to the BMW. Which is blue, to be fair. Meanwhile, Joe Wick's unrecognisable as he explains wacky new image for kids' workout series. So it's not a wacky new image, it's just a cartoon character now. Because the real Joe Wicks would scare people. He looks like Russell Brand. Jeremy Clarkson fumes as fun police ban his expensive beer advert. Jeremy Clarkson has been left fuming after his new advert for his best-selling beer was banned from our screens and radio for being not compliant with broadcasting regulations. So he's put it all over YouTube and probably got more people watching it than they would have done had the advert been on the telly. Genius. Trump mask smile at Club World Cup as Cole Palmer has question for president. So President Donald Trump appears in photos taken of Chelsea as they celebrated their win of the World Cup at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, with experts weighing in. So basically what you do is you have a celebrity, in this case Donald Trump, use the term celebrity loosely, handing the trophy over and then buggering off. Lisa Nandy, our very own Labour MP, presented the trophies at Silverstone to the F1 top three the other weekend, which I was fuming about. But anyway, here we go. He's there. He's under the trophy. You then bugger off and let do the woo and all that kind of thing. He stays there for all that. He's a bit like what was he called, that footballer for Chelsea who didn't actually play in the match and then ran on the pitch in the full kit and was holding the trophy and waving it around, and he didn't actually win anything. It's a bit like that. And then they're all jumping up and down and he's there, but they all kind of move around him and he ends up at the back, and then you see him kind of skulking off when they do all the proper photographs. But yeah, the guy's an absolute bellend, but I mean we know that, don't we? And Trump's not that great either. Mischievous tortoise rescued by firefighters after torching its home. London Fire Brigade said the fire was caused after a tortoise knocked over a heat lamp which set fire to hay in its enclosure in a flat in Mitcham, South London. I don't think it was mischievous. And why would you put a heat lamp that could be knocked over near hay? I blame the owner, not the tortoise. Millions of people see their delivery driver more than their own family. The huge rise in online shopping means that 1 in 3 people see a delivery driver more than their own children, with many receiving more than 5 packages in a week, a study found. Yeah, I've not seen my daughter since the 26th of February. So I can't argue with that. I've only seen my delivery driver once, but still more. Dogs should wear sunglasses and use sun cream as UK faces further heatwave. Expert Jacqueline Boyd has warned dog owners that they have to be careful with their furry friends during the summer after advice from the RSPCA that we should use sun cream on them. Why the hell would you put sun cream on a dog? I mean, if you've got a child and you put sun cream on them, and then you see them licking their arm, what would you do? You tell them to stop doing that. So if you put sun cream on it, I would assume it's the nose and maybe the ears, and then the dog's like, you don't put sun cream on a dog. Dogs are made for weather. That's why they have a fur coat. That's why it goes thinner during the winter, summer, and everything. Absolute nonsense. And sunglasses. I mean, for sake. My neighbour gets 5 packages a day. I'm not even joking. Yeah, some people do. So they definitely see their family more. Financial combustion. Yes, maybe. UK faces cheese shortage as imports blocked due to disease outbreak in cattle. Officials have stopped the import into Britain of fancy soft cheeses from Italy and France due to the outbreak, with Michelin star restaurants and upmarket delis being hit the hardest by the move. Good news is, I don't eat cheese, so I don't care. Oh, I'm. Oh, right, yeah. It's alright, don't worry, Dottie. Firefighter chiefs agree with me. British water must be brought into public ownership. Absolutely disgrace what's going on at the moment with the British water industry. I've covered it many times before, but at least the fire brigade are now involved. They're basically saying that if there's a water shortage, they want to put fires out. There's not enough water pressure, they want to put fires out. These companies are just screwing the British public, putting the prices up and still paying bonuses and dividends and taking money out of the system and not investing in it. So yeah, get it back. And Donald Trump defies FIFA by refusing to leave the Chelsea Club World Cup trophy lift, which we've already covered, because the guy's a complete moron, just in case you didn't know. Spell checker is drunk, yeah. Oasis fans fume as Gallagher Hill is fenced off ahead of next Eaton Park show. Hundreds gathered on Gallagher Hill to watch the Oasis concert at Eaton Park on a big screen, but the area's now been fenced off ahead of the next 3 shows. I kind of on the sides of both of them, to be fair. People have paid good money to see the gig and be in the grounds, and majority of them, all they'll see is the big screen, and then you get these people watching from a hill and not paying a penny and getting the same experience. So yeah, I kind of see where they're coming from. Then again, are they that greedy, the Oasis, that they don't want other fans to enjoy a night out which isn't the same? They've made enough money, haven't they? So I can see both sides. That's what I hate about me. I can always see both sides of both arguments. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Oh, yeah, you can, can't you? Yeah, that's what I said. Drone caught dropping large package inside walls of major UK prisons, which is true, you see. We're going back to what we were on about before. A lot of prisoners will see more drone operators than they will their families. So it's exactly the same thing. Delivery people, you see. Oh, there we go. Schoolgirl kept in isolation for wearing Union flag dress sparks a reply from the Prime Minister. Courtney Wright, 12, wore a Spice Girls-esque dress to show her pride for being British, but was told the dress was unacceptable by the school and was put in isolation. I didn't read what Keir Starmer said, but it was probably isolation. No, she should get 18 months in youth custody for that. Men who felled Sycamore Gap on moronic mission dubbed humanity at its worst. A court heard how Daniel Graham, 39, and Adam Carruthers, 32, were on a moronic mission to cut down the iconic tree at Sycamore Gap before filming. Not before filming it, they filmed its destruction. Um, humanity's its worst. I mean, what? They chopped a tree down. Yeah, as I said already, they deserve punishment and everything, but calling it humanity at its worst, Jesus Christ. Benjamin Netanyahu, Vladimir Putin, all dictators around the world, Kim Jong-un, for example, Xi Jinping. I mean, come on. These guys are moronic idiots. They're absolute morons. They are... But humanity at its worst. I mean, come on. Slow down. I mean, get a grip, people. Here's an old picture. A popular high street store under threat with a third of its branches facing axe. And this is Claire's. It's been struggling for a long while. I think it's been bought out a few times. A source has claimed that anyone looking to buy Claire's, the entire company, could end up closing a significant number of stores, with another also stating that around 1/3 of the stores could shutter for good already. Right, why do I say that's an old picture? Because there's a Thomas Cook sign there. Didn't Thomas Cook go bust? Years ago. So, old picture. Current news, old picture. British mum in tears as she faces firing squad for smuggling £300,000 worth of cocaine. Lisa Stocker, 39, and her husband John Collier, 39, are facing the death penalty in Indonesia after they were found with 992 grams of cocaine stashed in 17 packets of the dessert Angel Delight. Now, I'm sorry, but if you smuggle drugs into a country that's got laws where you can be killed for doing that or get a life in prison for doing that, then I'm sorry, it's on your head. Why the hell would you do that? Everyone says Claire's is expensive, on a different note, but no, I have no sympathy for these people. If they're guilty of doing that, then they have to face the justice of the country that they're in. It's just a shame that when people come to our country, they seem to get let off with breaking the laws. Not that we have a firing squad, but you know what I mean. BBC licence fee overhaul as 300,000 more Brit households stop paying it. The annual report published today says the battle with its streaming rivals like Netflix has created a moment of real jeopardy for the sector. So BBC's reputation continues to dwindle. All they need to do is get rid of all the minority radio stations. Just get rid of them. Just keep Radio 1, Radio 2, Radio 3, Radio 4, Radio 5, Radio 6. So they get rid of all the rest. Yeah, there you're done. Save your money. I don't need to say anything else. That's it, done. And then do some advertising. Job's good. Off you go. Off you trot. Bye. No sympathy, no sympathy. No, exactly. I've got no sympathy for those people. You smuggle drugs into a country. Yeah. NASA bombshell. A super Earth find as experts claim it has vital signs of life. Da da da. The huge planet orbits a star outside our solar system and is located in the Milky Way galaxy. This exoplanet is dubbed a super Earth as it is 4 times bigger than our planet. Does that mean all the aliens on it will be 4 times bigger? I don't know why I said that. Oh. Meanwhile, it gets worse and worse and worse for Elon Musk. Tesla is on trial after autopilot car kills stargazing woman at 70 miles an hour. Elon Musk tells Tesla are in court after the death of a student in Florida as a car set in autopilot reportedly hit her at 70 miles an hour. The electric car company says the crash had nothing to do with their autopilot technology, even though that was driving the car at 70 miles an hour and hit a woman. It's very good. I didn't take the photo, Alan, but I'll take the praise. Thank you. There you go. I'll let you have another look at it. There you can enjoy that for a minute. That reminds me of a picture my mum's got up on a wall in the living room, and it's called Wings of Love, and it's kind of a star thing, and then there's like a a swan that's kind of coming out of the stars, and then the wings wrap round, and there's a naked man and a naked woman, and then there's like cobbles and a bit of a sea coming up. I hate it so much. Remember when I was a kid, I looked at it and I'm like, is that his willy? Because you can see his little willy. It's like, oh God. Anyway, the dress. So what was this offensive dress that this young girl got kicked out of school for? In case Starmer said well, allegedly, he didn't actually say this, but she should go to a youth detention centre. That is the dress. Now, I've no idea why she was wearing the dress. I mean, it's not school uniform, so I could, if you went down that route, I could go with that. It's not school uniform, ergo, go to isolation. But, yeah, terrible. Driverless vehicles terrify me. Yeah, they terrify me as well, because they can be hacked. That's what's terrifying. And they got all the sensors on them so they can see around, so you could hack them and then use that as a weapon with no one in it. Prince Harry, attention-seeking former royal, Prince Harry, steps into live minefield like Mum Diana after 60,000 have been blown up. The Duke of Sussex followed in his mother's footsteps by walking in the live minefield all for almost 30 years after Princess Diana made the same trek in 1997. So, almost 30 years, 28 years, and 1997, and they've blown up 60,000. So I think I respect Princess Diana more than the attention-seeking, photo-opportunistic, please, I want my money back, Harry. Why have I got a Purple Crown thing with a number? It's something to do with top fans, which is something they've come up with. I have no idea. And basically, it means if you comment a lot, or if you click that button with the hearts on or whatever, and lots of things come up, it means you're a fan, and being a fan, you get a score. So at the end of the program, the stream, I will tell you what number you are and how many points you got. I mean, it's all nonsense, but yeah. So if you click the heart thing, can I do that? Yeah, click the heart thing like that, and you get points for that as well. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to the channel. It doesn't give me any money or anything like that. It's just weird. Now I live in Canada, North America. Seeing the national flag everywhere is very normal and great. Yeah, I think we should be allowed to put the flag up anywhere we want in the UK. Wear it as a dress, have it outside our house. They do it in America, nothing wrong with that. And I also think that even if it's not the UK flag, so if you're of Pakistani heritage or whatever, you should be allowed to have your flag as well. No flag should be banned. We can't say how people would react to that, but you should have the right to be able to display your flag of your nationality if that's what you want to do. I don't see the problem with it. Meanwhile, I see a problem with this. Oasis fans were able to get the look at a pop-up barber Gallagher's. A pop-up barber shop, aptly named Gallagher's, has opened in Manchester, allowing Oasis fans to get the iconic mod haircut made famous by Liam and Noel Gallagher. And I'm sorry, but if I end up looking like that, I'm not going to bother. But he does look a little bit like the guy out of the what was he called? F-E-A-R, F-E. I got the fear. You got the fear. Yeah, that one. Do you have an English one? Nah. There's a lot of people vying for #1 spot. Not in our country. I disagree with you. No. I don't see why not. It's. If we're allowed to put our British flags up, then you should be allowed to put your flag up. I mean, I'm not saying it would be a successful outcome, but, if you choose to do that, it should be against the law. Free speech could be dying out in the UK, and it's because of this. A new study has revealed nearly half were too worried about causing offence to voice their opinion on matters such as race and immigration, with older white males amongst the most restricted. Send them all back. N-word, C-word. No, we are looking over our shoulders at all times, but yeah, if you're easily offended, yeah, don't go in places. He's a cross between David Bowie and Elton John. The haircut guy, yeah, it's an interesting photograph. Oh, I've done that one. So excited I was. I've shown the same picture twice. UFO enthusiasts in a panic as massive fire breaks out by top of secret Area 51. The blaze is part of the Gothic Fire, a lightning spark wildfire that has been raging Nevada since July the 4th. But conspiracy theorists are not convinced. Of course they're not. It's obviously a biological weapon. It is an interesting one. Pip cuts may still go ahead as planned in major DWP update after Starmer U-turn. Before Keir Starmer was forced into a brutal U-turn by rebelling MPs, the cuts to the personal independent payment (PIP) scheme was due to come into force in November 26, but now it's rumoured it's going to come back because he's now scared them off by removing their whip. Elmo finally apologises 36 hours after Jeffrey Epstein and Kill All Jews rant. In a statement, Fox News Digital, Sesame Street Workshop, the non-profit organisation behind Sesame Street, confirmed the account had been hacked and an actual apology had finally followed. So yeah, basically someone hacked Elmo's account on Twitter X and come out with lots of anti-Semitic chants and stuff like that, including AI videos, which upset quite a lot of people, I can imagine. UK weather warning as Oasis fans prepare for huge storm for Heaton Park gigs. So last week it was heat waves, you're going to die of heat stroke. This week you're going to be struck by lightning. Oasis fans in Manchester could be set for heavy rain as boffins at the Met Office issued a yellow weather warning for thunderstorms on Friday and Saturday, which is a problem for Oasis fans. It's not really. Oasis. What are oases? They are water, so they're used to it. Ghost hunter dies suddenly whilst on tour with possessed Annabelle doll. Now, I've never seen the movie, but that is not Annabelle. So, absolute nonsense. Dan Rivera, a prominent paranormal investigator who is a lead investigator with the New England Society for Psychic Research, was found unresponsive in his hotel room in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, with the doll grinning in the corner. It's absolute nonsense. Someone died of a heart attack. What happens? She's being bullied. She's in class because she's different. In what way is she different? Asks the headmaster. The girl replies, "I'm British." Now, I've said this before. If you watch, if you've got Freeview, or certainly if you've got Virgin Media, you've got an option of watching local news from London. The reason I have local London on, I don't watch it. I normally watch North West, not London. But the London news, if they're ever in a school or anything, that literally is what it's like. It's literally Spot the White Child. And it's been like that for a while. But the reason I have the BBC London on my favourites is because I used to like, not so much these days, although it's kind of mellowed a bit again, it's kind of gone funny again. Have I Got News for You? And the problem in the Northwest, it's often replaced by rugby, which I don't like. So I have the London one, so I can watch Have I Got News for You on Monday, because I can't watch it on a Friday, because, hello, I'm here doing this and organising this. So, yeah. But it's a fascinating watch. If you watch the local news for London, which you can do, and just watch when they go out and about in the area, it's fascinating. Mysterious Trump and Jeffrey Epstein photo on bus stop at US Embassy in London. The Orange Man Baby, this is what the Daily Star called him, called any Republican still pursuing the cage stupid, foolish and weaklings, as some in his diehard followers burn their red Magna hat. London House, definitely, Alan, 100%. Stop flushing the toilets to help survive water shortage crisis, Brits warned. Behavioural scientists warn there is still a knowledge gap despite decades of advice telling people not to waste water in their homes. So basically what they're saying is, I would imagine, if you have a number one, don't flush. If you have a number two, flush. If you don't have a number 2 when someone else has had a number 1, flush. And then flush. So I don't think it really works. I live on my own, so I don't flush all the time I have a number 1. I have a look and see what it looks like. If it's a distinguishable colour, I'll flush it. If it's not, I'll leave it. My friend lives in Worsley Hall. She says every time anyone new moves in, they aren't English. She says the whole estate is slowly being taken over. It's not slowly. That's the problem. Yeah. I think my daughter lives in Worsley Hall. Yeah, she does live in Worsley Hall. That's the thing, though. How rare is your personality type? So where would I be in this? The peacemaker, to have peace and harmony. The challenger, to be in control and avoid vulnerability. The loyalist, to feel secure and supported. The individualist, to be unique, understood and authentic. So far that's me. The investigator, to be knowledgeable, competent and self-sufficient. Oh, that's me. The helper, to be loved and needed. That's not me. And the reformer, to be good, ethical and balanced. There's a quiz you have to take and it comes up with what you are out of that. I like to think of myself as a bit of a polite disruptor. I just call things out left, right and centre. Donald Trump thanks himself for making Coca-Cola great again after a recipe change. Donald Trump has blown his own trumpet once again, saying he's the person to thank for Coke's new recipe, which he claims is just better. Basically, they've used a lot of fructose syrup, which is very bad for you, to be fair. And now he's told them to use cane sugar instead, which they've done because they're scared of him, and which is better for you because the fructose is very bad indeed. So there you go. The investigator, you. Okay, I'll go there. Thank you. UK government to give all 16-year-olds the right to vote in seismic change. The UK government will give all 16-year-olds the right to vote in elections as part of seismic changes to modernise UK democracy. How many 16-year-olds have got driving licences? Photo ID. I mean, they might have a passport, but you know, most 16-year-olds have had a passport since they were about 6, and let's be honest, you don't look the same. Even from like 12 to 16, you don't look the same. So I don't know how that's going to work. They won't be asked voting anyway. But yeah, I've done a bit of investigation recently, Dottie. If you read my column in the Wigan on Wigan Today website, I've done a lot. I grew up in Worsley Hall. My mum lived there close to 50 years, but I moved her out a couple of years ago because she didn't feel safe anymore. Yeah. Trump looks like Jimmy Carter more each time I see him. Oh, that's brilliant. I love that. Rachel Reeves' tax raid leads to thousands of job losses as wage growth cools. No! Thousands of jobs were lost in June, according to official data, as the Chancellor, Rachel from Accounts, £20 billion tax raid led to cooling in wage growth and put the Bank of England under further pressure. We've dropped 73 frames in an hour and 23 minutes, so I don't know what's going on there, Alan. That's pretty good, to be fair, because it's 30 frames a minute, so that's less than 2 minutes in an hour and a bit. Oh dear. But yeah, Rachel from Accounts, they're not fit for purpose, this government. There's not a way of getting them out. But then who do we get instead? Brit shoppers warned of more high street cyber attacks as ominous trend emerges. A new analysis of cyber threat data suggests a clear seasonal pattern is emerging in retail-focused attacks, with the second quarter of the year consistently seeing a spike in malicious activity targeting retailers across the UK. Now, I'm going to have to go back because I meant to do this, but I forgot to copy it. There we go. This was sent by Toff a couple of days ago. Co-op boss confirms data of all all 6.5 million members is stolen. The chief executive of the co-op has confirmed that the personal data of all of its 6.5 million members was stolen during a major cyber attack in April, marking one of the most widespread data breaches in UK retail history. Speaking publicly for the first time, the attack, Shireen Kultri HAQ said the breach had a devastating impact on customers and staff and described the hack as deeply personal. It would be, because it's her name. There was no financial or transactional data taken, but names, addresses, contact information was accessed. It hurt my members, and that I take that personally. Now, the problem you've got is, if you want to get the best deals, and I don't agree with any of this, if you want to get the best deals at a supermarket like Tesco or whatever, you've got to get the app, and then you've got to scan in, and on the app, you have to be, you have to give your name, your address, your date of birth, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. They offer me a Boots card and a Vantage card, and I'm like, no, I don't want it, because you want all my data. And if you get hacked, my data's all over the world then. I've got enough problems because my stuff's been around for a long, long while. Let's just go to that one. That'll do. So I have got a Tesco Club card, but watch this when I click on it. Oh, there you go. Let's turn it off and turn it on again. Hello, Anita. I call myself Anita on it because I'm like, they might get my name and address. Well, they might get my address, but they've got the wrong date of birth, and I'm a woman who drinks a lot of Guinness, which messes up the algorithm. So everyone's a winner as far as I'm concerned. So. Yeah, sometimes you need to turn your router off for about half an hour and then turn it back on again. We're nearly over, Alan, so don't worry. We're alright, By the way, that's not me coming out as a cross-dresser. It's just to screw up Tesco's. Still get the advantage, but they get nothing off me. You see? That's what it's all about. The hairstyle women love. There's a guy there with some Bugattis and a big posh house behind him. Arms folded, really nice haircut, greying beard, very handsome man. The hairstyle women don't like, exactly the same man with a shack behind him with made of wood. So yeah, what they're basically saying is women are just after men for the money. I don't think they are, but it amused me. Anita, why not? It's the first name that come to my head, to be fair, when I was typing it in. The LGBTQ plus community are calling the Japanese transphobic for their depiction of trans people in anime. There's a picture. Sorry, it just made me laugh. If a woman sleeps with 10 men, she's a slut. But if a man does it, he's gay. He's gay, someone replied. It's all about the wording, isn't it? If a woman sleeps with 10 men, she's a slut. But if a man does it, he's... And then the reply, gay. He's gay. If a man sleeps with 10 men. I know what she means. Don't. And then finally in this section, you'll be pleased to hear, there's a game called Fortnite. If you're not into gaming, there's a game called Fortnite, and it's mainly played by prepubescent children. I always joke that I don't play it because I've gone through puberty. I don't say those words, I'm a bit more graphic about it. But basically I've gone through puberty, so I don't play it, and it's rubbish anyway. But basically the story of the game is you kind of fall from the sky, you land in this cartoony environment, which gets smaller and smaller and smaller. There's weapons you can pick up to shoot people. It's all very child-friendly in that respect. It's a free game. Loads of people play it. There's t-shirts, there's bags, there's loads and loads of merchandise for it. It's not free though, because they do a thing called skins. Now skins are basically a costume you can buy for your character so it looks cool. So early cool ones were like skeleton skin, so you look like you're a Halloween, or there was a bacon skin where you look like you were slices of bacon on you, or there's famous actors, like you could have Terminator skin or whatever, and all these cost a small amount of money, up to £10 each, and there's hundreds of them. That's where they make the money. They're bringing out a new lot of these skins. The Fantastic Four skins are coming to Fortnite. It's one of the most wanted collabs ever. And someone's replied, Fantastic what? So it's the new movie Fantastic Four, which is coming out, a remake, a reboot, again. And they're bringing out skins to celebrate it. So they're bringing out some Fantastic Four skins. You see where the problem is here? If there were Fantastic Four costumes, which is basically what they offer your character, that would be alright, but they're not referred to as costumes, they're referred to skins. So you get some Fantastic Four skins. I don't think Americans will get that joke. I just thought of that then. Yeah, Americans don't have... anyway, let's move on to the breaking news. Craig's jumping into a meeting, you keep an ear on. Well, it's breaking news now, so you don't have to look at it, you can listen to it in the background. If people ask what you're listening to, then we'll have a laugh. Breaking news, Max Verstappen will take Red Bull exit but create a new problem, which is basically Red Bull have got two decent drivers, a car that's doing okay, and yeah, could be interesting indeed. St Pancras restaurant, known for its best dining room in London, shuts down due to rising costs. Emmerdale confirms who wins in Carolee and Kim cash battle. Yeah, I did watch that, it was weird. Highly contagious measles that is spreading in Greater Manchester and cases are increasing. Chancellor Rachel Reeves sets out Leeds reforms to its financial sector. Jenson Button walks away from roller Sky F1 pundit and winds down racing career. Good. I don't watch F1 because on the Sky because they're all idiots. I can't stand them. What's that one? UK voting age lowered to 16. Here's why and how it will affect future elections. A huge sum former BBC wildlife presenter Tony Soper left to his family in his will after dying aged 95. Tony Soper, I remember watching him when I was a kid. I didn't realise he was 95 though. He'd done well. Could UK follow France in axing bank holidays? Well, there's no bloody banks left. So would that make every day a bank holiday? No, I think we should have more bank holidays, to be fair, not less. HS2 subcontractors roll in £100 million bat tunnel terminated after it claims inflated pay rates. So we've got a bat tunnel being built for the bats, which won't be needed because we won't be building HS2 anyway. Jaguar Land Rover to cut 500 jobs in personal embarrassment for Keir Starmer. DWP issues urgent warning as millions of Britons could have money taken from their bank accounts. World's oldest marathon finisher dies at 114. There was also a marathon, old marathon guy over 100 who got killed by a car while he was practicing for a marathon. That's that for that lot. Merz says he deplores deeply UK's decision to leave EU after signing UK-German treaty. Shut up. What's this? Dan Abbott suspended from Labour Party. We've already covered that. M&S say Sparks membership deals fully back online after hack. But again, is it worth having all your information stolen for saving a few pence? Calm Air India captain cut off fuel while co-pilot panicked. So was it the pilot did it? I heard it was the co-pilot. This is the aeroplane crash in India. NATO reveals lightning fast Kaliningrad neutralization plan should Russia attack. Migrant backdoor remains open after Starmer deal warns unionists. Post office systems go down across Britain. Brilliant. Labour's economic illiteracy is dragging us into a doom loop and recession. The super Earth that we were talking about before is sending out strange signals, apparently. Sergio Perez's return represents huge F1 failure, yeah. They're already talking about notable people who died in 2025. I saw that the guy, remember the Red Bull guy, who jumped out of the balloon that was in the stratosphere, and it's the highest jump anyone's ever done. He's died in a paragliding accident in the last 24 hours, age 57. Jess Phillips disappointed at rise in UK unemployment. UK disappointed in Jess Phillips and the entire Labour cabinet. Starmer rushes through votes for 16-year-olds to fight reform threat. Diana Abbott is suspended from Labour for a second time as she doubles down on racism comments. To mention this before, British spies and special force soldiers exposed in Afghan data breach. Trump to visit Scotland next week on a private visit. UK payrolls down by 178,000 over last year. So, yeah, that's 178 people who are no longer working who were working this time last year. 178,000, sorry. Jess Phillips says MPs should expect fallout for slagging off own government. No, they're saying what everyone else is saying, you stupid woman. Lord Leaderval holds Lord's debate on how freedom of speech is at risk in the UK. Britain is forced to pay EU under Starmer Brexit reset. So the money we're meant to be saving by leaving Brexit, we're now giving some of it back to Europe in order for them to use fishing our fishing waters for another 12 years. This guy is not fit. I mean, I've never been so angry with the Prime Minister. I mean, even Liz Truss, at least she got the idea and got kicked out really quick. Connie Francis, the legendary singer, has died after a short health battle. Ironically, I put out and got a Connie Francis LP today. And a child tragically has died in a coach crash with more than 60 people killed on a day trip. Anger over Santander charging for businesses' accounts after it said it would be free forever. Yeah, they're just grabbing money. She was 87, Connie Francis. No mention by the government over Thames Water £1.6 billion loss. UK unemployment jumps to highest since 2021 as wage growth slows. That was when COVID was on, 2021. Sebastian Vettel decides on coming out of retirement to race in F1 again. Andy Burnham says the M60 at saturation point after National Highways failure to invest in roads. Asda fined £640,000 for selling out-of-date food. Doesn't surprise me. Rachel Reeves, car taxes could see 2 in 5 petrol and diesel drivers give up cars. Well, that suits her perfectly, but that means she get less revenue then from the tax from the petrol. The Home Secretary defends UK-France migrant deal. Of course they do. I think that's it. In Calais, migrant smugglers jump out of a small boat to return to shore. This is Money website. Horror on High Street as half of independent stores mull closure. I know a few people who are thinking about closing. Da, 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 da. Labour refuses to rule out more gags on MPs and the press. Freedom of speech, remember that? Yeah, I think that is it. For the breaking news, a lot of breaking news actually. There's a lot of news this week. Nothing Starmer said. Oh, Alan Barton types in froze again. I talk about the. I'll just show you what we're talking about, in case you missed it. The Fantastic Foreskins, which if Alan Barton comes back, and it doesn't necessarily see the thing we were talking about, and then first thing you'd see is Foreskins Oh Dear by Dottie. Oh dear. Nothing Starmer says or does makes any sense. No, he's a clueless. He literally is a clueless, complete muppet. Or clueless idiot, as Alan wrote underneath. 100% agree, Alan. Right then. So there you go then. We've got 4 people still watching. I did go off at a bit of a tangent, to be fair. We've got 7 likes. We've got 72 people watching, some more people watching. We've had more concurrent viewers as well. So, big shout out to the Calderdale Top Cats, Angela O'Kane, Stephen, Kelly and Rollo, Craig Meadow, Dottie Gran, Alan Barton, who's in and out, Stephen O'Neill, already mentioned him, Craig Meadow, what's your name? I'll mention him again anyway. A lot of chat this week, which is good. We like it when there's a lot of chat. Most of you agree with everything I say. In fact, everyone's agreed with everything I've said tonight, apart from Alan disagreeing about the flags, which is fine. So yeah, top fans. So who's won? Alan Barton is number 1 with 150 XP. Craig is number 2 with 150 XP. Dottie is 3rd with 150 XP. Scottish girl who had to go off earlier, hopefully the appointment goes well, is 4th with 75 XP. Stephen is 5th with 75 XP. Danger Mouse is 6th with 75 XP. Stephen O'Neill is 7th with 75 XP. And Top Cat is 8th with 50 XP. So well done everyone for that. Thank you very much for watching, if indeed you still are. I will endeavour to see you again soon. So I will say, as is normal, I will be seeing you next time. Until then, it's nearly midnight. Goodbye! No. Wrong one. Till next time. Bye! T.